Hello everyone and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. Thank you all so much for being here, for your continued love and support here on the channel. Today's pick a card reading, we're going to be doing what is your life's mission at this moment? What is your life's mission at this moment? We do have 3 crystals out here for you to choose from. For group 1, we have Amethyst. For group 2, we have Opalite. And then for group 3, we have a Fuschia, Dalmatian, Jasper. If you already feel drawn to one of the crystals here, you can go ahead and click the timestamp. It'll take you directly to your reading. But I am going to be adding in one of these cards to help you with choosing, for those of you that do need the extra bit of help. So what is your life's mission at this moment? And if you do feel drawn to more than one of the groups, that is perfectly okay for today's reading. Just take what resonates for you. If you're finding that a group that you choose doesn't really resonate for you, you're more than welcome to choose a different one. I'm also available for private readings. My email is in the description box. You can just send me an email and I will provide you with more information on booking readings as well as the other services that I do provide. So group 1 with the Amethyst. What is your life's mission at this moment? That is for group 1. Group 2 with the Opalite. What is your life's mission at this moment? And group 3 with the Fuschia, Dalmatian, Jasper. What is your life's mission at this moment? Okay, so let's see what we've got. Group 1, we have card number 6, the Witching Hour, and it says favorable circumstances. And that is with the Amethyst. Group 2, we have number 9, Secret Trail with Ascension, and that is with the Opalite. Group 3, we have card number 23, the Spirits, and it says Respecting Spirit. And that is with the Fuschia, Dalmatian, Jasper. So those are the options for today. What is your life's mission at this moment? For group 1, the Witching Hour with the Amethyst. Group 2, Secret Trail with the Opalite. Group 3, the Spirits with the Fuschia, Dalmatian, Jasper. Timestamps will be down below for you all. And I will see you at your reading. Hi group 1, so those of you that resonated with card number 6, the Witching Hour with favorable circumstances, okay, and the Amethyst. So we're going to pull actually one more oracle. We're going to save it for the end, but we are going to pull your tarot as well. So group number 1. Okay, so that is your card. We'll save that for the end. So you chose favorable circumstances. This card does talk a lot about long-term goals and about being in a very powerful place of manifestation power. So favorable circumstances. Let's take a look at what is coming through with the tarot. What is your life's mission at the moment? Group number 1. The Wheel of Fortune. The Hierophant. The Ace of Pentacles. The Devil. Eight of Wands. Six of Wands, the Strength card. Leo, Taurus, Capricorn, 10 of Wands. We've also got Scorpio and Aquarius, Sagittarius with Temperance. Okay, bottom of the deck, we do have the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Pentacles and the Star. Okay, so like I was saying, this card talks a lot about manifestation and about you right now being in a place where your power of manifestation is incredibly strong, powerful. And so this is a good time for you to focus on what your goals are, your dreams are, your desires. The one thing I will say here, because we do have the Devil here and the Hierophant, I feel that this is you believing in yourself, being confident that you have the power to create. And it feels like this is tied into abundance for you. Opportunity, good fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is here, which is about good luck. It's about blessings, abundance, and really being in a place where you're making some very important life changes that are going to help you to achieve what it is that you desire. The Devil is a lot about limitations, fears, and a lot of the ways in which our emotions and our thoughts can kind of manipulate us and keep us stuck, feel trapped. The Hierophant is a lot to do with our values and our belief systems. And these are belief systems that we have acquired over the course of our lifetime that have been passed down through generations, traditions, societal expectations, conditioning, programming, and sometimes, culture, religion as well. Sometimes these belief systems that we hold can be quite powerful and really help us to live our best life, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are limiting beliefs that our parents have passed down. And being that we're talking about money here, with the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Star at the bottom, The Nine of Pentacles has to do with financial freedom, financial independence, financial security. It's about you being able to create your own wealth, being able to live a life that is very comfortable. Some of you, this might be entrepreneurship, being self-made, being able to create your own wealth, your own abundance. Two of Pentacles, this could be taking you from financial instability into financial security. The Ace of Pentacles does bring opportunities for us, blessings. Sometimes it's windfalls of unexpected income, money, ways in which the universe provides an opportunity, and we have to be prepared to sometimes take a leap of faith, sometimes open ourselves up to receiving what the universe is trying to help to align you with. Now, the Ten of Wands energy can talk about being under a lot of stress, a lot of maybe financial responsibilities, juggling finances. This is also about getting priorities in order. And I feel like it's getting priorities in order to help to secure a more financially abundant future. Okay. The Ten of Wands can really be about us holding back, feeling weighed down. Sometimes it could be, when we're under a lot of stress, especially when we're dealing with financial instability. If we're trying to improve finances and we're kind of feeling, okay, things are not moving in the way that we want them to. The Eight of Wands is about energy that is in motion. Okay, it could even be about us taking some type of inspired action. We do have the Six of Wands here, which the Six of Wands can be a card of being in the spotlight, recognition, feeling appreciated, feeling valued. So if we are in let's just say a job where we feel like we're not getting promoted, we're not getting the raise, we're not, seeing the fruits of our labor, is it time for us to make change? Is it time for you to put your intention and choices that help to align you with something that is going to help you to receive more opportunities? Maybe that means for some of you shifting careers, changing jobs. The Temperance card is about balance. Okay. So we can be working towards improving finances. Okay. Improving our financial health. The Temperance card is also about moderation, where the Devil is like the complete opposite. It is about overindulging. It has a lot to do with like the material world and possessions, certain bad habits that we might have, overspending, focusing too much on our earthly possessions, stuff basically that we want to buy. If we overdo it, sometimes we use too much credit cards, or we are taking out too many loans, or, just kind of basically mishandling money. So really this is about your mission right now, okay, is about getting things in order, creating more balance, creating more moderation, especially as it relates to financial security for yourself, and also to be mindful of any types of self-limiting beliefs that you might have surrounding creating wealth, being able to take advantage of opportunities that are there to create more wealth, not being afraid. The Strength card is here, which is also about overcoming fears, being brave, being courageous, being confident, really being in your power to push past any of those insecurities. And if that means we're doing some healing, if that means that we're looking at the current belief systems that we hold surrounding money, or even the way in which we feel about the self, the Strength card has a lot to do with our confidence. So, this is about really putting ourselves out there. The Six of Wands, like I said, is about being in the spotlight. So it's about, maybe stepping outside of your comfort zone for some of you, taking advantage of those opportunities. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now. The Wheel of Fortune is also about change. So change into balance. So we're going to move away from the Devil energy, which has, like I said, a lot to do with doing things outside of moderation, overindulging, overdoing it basically. where we need to kind of reel it in. Okay, we're going to look at different areas of our life. Where are we overspending? Where are we maybe putting too much attention, too much energy? We need to shift back towards our priorities and focusing on continuing to allow ourselves to receive growth, success, abundance, which is what I'm getting for you here. Okay, this is where Spirit is saying, again, you're in a very powerful energy right now with manifestation. This is about you using that to your advantage. Okay, really focused intention, making changes where you need to. Okay, and yeah, being confident, I feel like. So I want to clarify the Wheel of Fortune here. What is this Wheel of Fortune? The Chariot. Beautiful. So the Chariot Cancer energy is about success. It is about willpower, determination, building up momentum, right? When we're getting moving, we're getting going, we're really focused on what the goal is, the dream, the desire, and starting to, again, put energy in motion. This is also very fast moving energy. So is the Chariot. So it's really about, setting our mark on whatever the goal is and getting it done, working towards it. No longer holding ourselves back. It's also a good time for you to focus on what your goals are, what your dreams are. You know how sometimes we say to ourselves, okay, this is what I'd like to accomplish this year. Okay. And then we accomplish it. Okay. What's next? What's next? So sometimes it's a need for us to maybe take some time. And I know sometimes we often have a tendency to do that only at New Year's, the start of the new year, where we might make some New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change that. I'm going to, be more healthy. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to read more books. I'm going to take that class. But this is a time for you to kind of take some time to think about where you're going, what you're doing. So that we're not just kind of like on autopilot and mid-year, or now we're already at the last quarter of this year. Have we accomplished the goals that we've wanted? Have we set new goals to focus on? It's so that we don't end up feeling unfulfilled. We're making sure that we're being more purposeful and intentional with where we are directing our energy. Are the things that you have in your life right now that you have manifested in things that have brought about joy for you, happiness for you, or have we unconsciously manifested, situations that were like, oof, what is this? Why am I dealing with this? I didn't want this. So this is really a time for us to gain some clarity, to really focus on what it is that we want. And Spirit's saying, like, you have so much of this power within you and the wisdom, because the Hierophant is also a very wise energy. We've learned a lot from our past with when we've made certain choices in the past or haven't acted, missed opportunities. We've learned from that. So what can we do differently this time? How can we achieve the results that we want? What is it going to require? More discipline, more commitment, more dedication, more focus, minimizing stress, taking a look at what fears we have and what's blocking us. Okay. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? The Five of Wands and the Two of Cups. Some of you, the Five of Wands can talk about a resistance to change, because making changes sometimes can cause stress too. We're just like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to align with that? How am I going to make this happen? But when I look at this Two of Cups card here, I kind of always see this card, not all the time, but for this particularly, for these readings, I always see this card as something very spiritual that's happening here. And I kind of see this as your higher self connecting with you, giving you the insight, the information to trust in what it is that you're receiving, to align with your higher self, your 5D self, and to be able to overcome challenges, which is also what the Six of Wands is about, overcoming challenge. Okay, this can even talk about inner conflict that we feel, about moving forward with something, about taking advantage of an opportunity, about moving towards a particular goal that we might have. The Two of Cups is also about balance and harmony, partnership. And I see this as a partnership and union between you and Spirit, you co-creating with Spirit, you connecting in with your spirit team, your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your passed on loved ones, and to feel that inner strength, confidence, power. Okay, you guys might hear the geese. They go overhead in the morning, flying to their destination. Let's see. Let's actually look at this devil here. Justice. The Four of Wands and the King of Cups. Yeah, the King of Cups energy has a lot to do with your heart, your feelings, your intuition. And the Justice card has to do with you making the right choices that are ultimately for your highest good. The Four of Wands is about stability, harmony. It's also about achieving certain milestones. That celebratory energy of, being able to accomplish something. Yes, sometimes when we want to go after a dream or a goal, it is challenging. It does require time, effort, dedication, commitment, consistency. But this is where I feel like Spirit's saying that you do have this power within you to make it happen, to make it come true. Where wishes are fulfilled. Some of you, this could be looking at any type of karmic patterns that you keep repeating. Things that affect your focus, the discipline, even external types of things that could be going on in our life that distract us away from what we want, what our goals are. This is where you put yourself first and start to think about what you want for the long term. We start doing that now. Okay, so that's where Spirit is kind of wanting you to focus your energy right now. Your life's mission right now is getting things aligned for yourself and making the changes that we need to, and so that you are able to achieve the success that you want. No longer putting things off, things where we say, okay, I want to do that, but I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next year. And we keep putting it off and putting it off. This is getting to work now. Okay. Getting to work now. All right. So that is all that I have for you. Actually, no, we've got this card here. Let's see what the message is. We have Mercury Mischief. It says, meet Miss Emmy Wink, devotee of divine detours. Have you ever found yourself suddenly redirected, perhaps in an uncomfortable or inconvenient way? But then it all turned out better than you could have imagined. If so, this kitty was at play, stirring up some Mercury mischief. Mercury, an infamous trickster, is known for wreaking havoc on our plans, technology, and communications. However, this kitty reminds you that Mercury is also a magician, and there is always magic in their mischief. Trust in this magic, flow with the redirection, and be amazed at the unexpected perfection in a plan gone awry. Okay, so talking about magician energy, right, which is Mercury is the planet associated with the magician card. And the magician card is about manifestation, willpower, focused intention, you believing in yourself and what you can create. It's also about co-creating with spirit. It's about the infinite potential that you have within yourself to create. Okay, so with that Wheel of Fortune here, you know, the Wheel of Fortune can talk about being at a major turning point in our life. It's also about change, divine timing, right? Favorable circumstances. So it's also you really tuning in to your heart, to your intuition when it's saying, go now, take that leap of faith, make this shift. Or if something is, right, not quite aligned for us and it doesn't work out, that we're trusting in that redirection that's leading you towards blessings, opportunities, wish fulfillment. Sometimes we might think, especially with the devil being here, we might think this is what we want. This is what we desire. And it's coming from a place of ego, right? It might provide temporary fulfillment, but it's an illusion, right? This is you living from the soul. Living from the soul. And yes, we are talking about, you know, money, which has to do with, again, that earth energy, material world, possessions. But this is where temperance comes in with moderation. You know, sometimes we have a fixation on all the stuff, you know, cars, clothes, shoes, purses, technology, all these other things that we think that we need, or that we, you know, sometimes the devil energy can talk about greed, you know, power. So sometimes we can allow those things to kind of take control, and sometimes the ego's desires might even lead us right into being able to enjoy those things. But again, this is where spirit is bringing in moderation, because we could be filling our life with a lot of material things, where the universe is trying to help you to align more from the soul, so from something that's going to provide emotional fulfillment. And especially for those of you where you're on that path of entrepreneurship, where you're able to be in control of your own wealth, your own abundance. You're not working for someone else. You're not waiting for someone to notice you out of the company that you work for to give you the raise or to give you the promotion. You know, you take control. You hold the power. Okay? And for those of you that do, you know, work for someone else, this is you going where you're appreciated, where you're valued. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, Group 1. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, Group 2. So those of you that resonate with card number 9, Secret Trail with Ascension, and the Opalite, this is going to be your reading today. So we're finding out what is your life's mission at this moment. Okay, so before we get into pulling your tarot, we are going to pull one of the oracle cards from this deck. I am going to save this for the end of the reading. So we're going to pull this now. And then we will pull your tarot and see what the message is. What is your life's mission at this moment? Group 2. All right, so that is your card. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. Let's pull your tarot. What is your life's mission at this moment? What is your life's mission at this moment? The Empress in reverse. The 9 of Cups. The 6 of Wands. The 7 of Wands. What is your life's mission? 7 of Cups and the Star. Queen of Wands. We've got Taurus, Libra, Aquarius, and Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Temperance. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, so this feels like this has a lot to do, Group 2, with your personal transformation. Being that we do have the Empress coming in reverse. It feels like there are certain dreams that you wish to accomplish. And that Empress in reverse might make us feel insecure. It might make us feel like we lack the confidence in being able to create, being able to manifest. It may even be feelings of unworthiness that we have to the wishes and the desires that we have. And the Queen of Wands is here, which is a very confident energy. It's about charisma. It's about confidence in ourselves, beauty, feeling attractive, desirable. And when we're in that Empress in reverse energy, we feel less attractive, less desirable. We may feel like we can't manifest, or we haven't been able to manifest the things that we want. Okay. The Ace of Wands is here, which is about divine inspiration. It's about a creative spark, a passion that we might have, being able to pursue that passion, the confidence to be able to do it. And Temperance is here, which, can be about healing a certain aspect of the self. But I also see this as change. Okay? Your change, your transformation. The Star is also something that helps to restore faith, hope, believing, trusting in yourself and your abilities. So I want to clarify this Empress first. We're going to start with that. Knight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles is at the bottom. The Knight of Swords is a very brave energy. It's very courageous. It's very focused on getting something done. The Eight of Pentacles is also about commitment, dedication, discipline, hard work, effort, consistency. It is a card of self-mastery. Mastering the self, okay? Here in the Secret Trail card, this reminds me a lot of the Moon card, actually. Here there is this little figure here staring out in the trail, and there's a bunch of these dark trees, right? And with the moonlight right at the end of that path there. In the Moon card, we can see the moon on, you know, in that card, and it looks like, you know, the Moon card can talk a lot about insecurities, fears, self-doubt. You know, it could even be where we don't trust our intuition. You know, the path, it kind of looks like there's a bunch of little imaginary kind of like little mushrooms and butterflies and things that are kind of illuminating the path. But with that moon way down there at the end of that path, you know, maybe there's a feeling of uncertainty about trusting it, or where is this path going to lead? So let's clarify this Empress, Four of Cups. Okay. Five of Cups. Okay, so there's something's going on here. Something emotional. There's the Moon card. The moon has a lot to do with our subconscious mind, okay? Just like I was saying, fears, insecurities. We may not be trusting our intuition. Self-doubt. Confusion, okay? Sometimes it's confusion. The Five of Cups being here is about grief. Sometimes it's over loss, the things from the past, the things that maybe have not worked out. And the Four of Cups card can talk about missed opportunities. It can talk about rejection, being turned down, being told no. Like if we try to apply for a job and then another job and then another job, and we start to feel discouraged. We start to feel disappointed. We start to feel like, why is this happening to me? Why can't I manifest? Why can't I create? Why can't I, am I not worthy of what I wish for, of what I hope for? So sometimes we can feel so discouraged, and it can start to make us feel depressed. It can start to make us really just check out with that Four of Cups, where we, even if there is an opportunity that comes our way, we think, what's the point? Why should I? When all I've ever experienced in the past was disappointment. Why should I open myself up to this opportunity? We start to feel maybe bored. We start to feel unhappy, unfulfilled. Creative, we could deal with creative blocks. Okay? Blocks within our feminine energy, which has a lot to do with creativity. I just want to look really quickly. This is the Witching Hour Oracle. I want to see what this says about this secret trail here with Ascension. Number 9. It actually correlates to the Fool card, which is about taking a leap of faith. So it says ascension, enlightenment, preparation for greatness. Not everyone can go. It says your situation will lead to success. You will receive an amazing opportunity, or the opportunity you have inquired about is the right path for you. Preparation for greatness is at the heart of this card. Those who receive it are ready to level up and experience an even greater life. However, as much as we'd like it, not everyone is going to continue the journey with us as we grow. When you shift and transform, you are also silently challenging others to shift and transform with you. Finding your greatness will prompt your immediate community to examine their own greatness. Some will be inspired by you and right along with you, but the secret trail will also be revealed to them. But many, if not most, will give into fear, doubt, jealousy, causing them to stand still or even shift in a different direction from your path. You have pulled this card because you are about to embark on a new journey that does not include everyone or everything currently in your life. If your question is about a person, you may need to ask yourself if now is a natural time to end a relationship or to establish stronger boundaries. If you are inquiring about career or business, you may consider leaving your current position in order to start something completely new. In general, receiving this card means opportunities are available to you that few others will ever enjoy. Don't be afraid to take the journey on your own. And when I first pulled this card or looked at it when we turned it over, the first thing that came to my mind was the path less traveled. And it almost kind of gives me the impression of like forging a new path for yourself, you know? And like I said, with that Five of Cups, sometimes it's grief over loss. Things that we thought, okay, this is going to be my path. This is going to be what I meant to do or what I meant to be a part of. And these things then being removed from our life, and we end up feeling sad. We end up feeling, you know, disappointed, discouraged, you know? So you have the Seven of Wands energy here, which the Seven of Wands is about facing adversity, facing challenges head on, and being able to overcome obstacles. It's about perseverance, okay? And I kind of wanted to look at this Five of Cups here. We do also have Pisces energy. Seven of Pentacles. This is feeling frustrated. For some of you, this Five of Cups comes from investing your time and energy into things, person, place, situation, and success being unfulfilled. Meaning that we've put our time and energy into something and we're not seeing the results. We're not seeing the fruits of our labor. Things aren't turning out the way that we wanted them to, or they're not happening fast enough. We get frustrated. And sometimes we want to quit. Give up. Two of Wands. There's the Queen of Cups. I'm seeing the Lovers here at the bottom. This kind of reminds me a little bit of like the message that was coming through in group 1. When I'm doing spiritual readings and I use this deck, the Two of Cups card has like a very similar kind of energy here. When I look at this card, I see the little feathers, the little wings here, and how this figure here is holding the other's face, almost like talking. And I always see this as your higher self, your spirit guides, your spirit team, your ancestors, passed on loved ones, supporting you, protecting you, nurturing you, trying to help you to move past this feeling of discouragement, disappointment, sadness, grief, whatever you could be dealing with. But I kind of look at it as them giving you like a pep talk, words of encouragement. Don't give up, keep going. Sometimes, like this card was talking about with relationships, sometimes, we have our mindset on a specific person and we think, okay, that's the person I want to be with. I want this to work out. I want this, to have this relationship with this person. And then it doesn't turn out that way. Something happens, right? And we end up feeling sad. We grieve the loss of that relationship or of that job that we had so much, excitement about. Like, let's just say you apply for a job and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. This could change my life. This is life-changing money. And then we don't get it. Right? And sometimes I know some of you go through that over and over and over and over again. And it's tiring. I've been there in that place many years ago with just nothing working out. Just like one thing after the next thing, after the next thing, everything just off. And it really put me into a really depressive state. Well, just like, what am I even doing? What am I even doing? Like, what is happening? So I get it. The Two of Wands energy is about choices. It's about planning, making plans. Some of you could have invested a lot of emotions into something, a lot of creativity into something, and planning and putting time and energy, and then not working out, right? It starts to weigh on us. It starts to affect our confidence in ourselves, and like, what? Am I not meant to have this? Am my wishes never going to be fulfilled? Am I, never going to feel happy and confident and successful? Because we've got the Six of Wands there. So again, going back to our question today, what is your life's mission at this moment? Okay. I really see this as a need, because our Empress is in reverse, as a need for nurturing you. A need for nurturing you. A need for focusing on self-love. A need for focusing on nurturing yourself. Okay? And self-love can be many different things. Self-love could be setting a boundary. Self-love could be learning to say no. Self-love can be going out and getting a massage. It can be going to bed early to make sure that you get enough rest. It could be making some quiet time for yourself, journaling, a little meditation practice, cooking yourself dinner, a healthy meal, taking yourself out on a nice vacation. These are things that you do because you love you. Think about the ways in which we do things when we want to show another person that we love them and we care about them. How do we talk to them? What are the things that we do to show that person? Redirect that attention and energy towards yourself. This also means that we're looking at our inner voice. Are you mean to yourself? Do you say negative things? Do you think negative thoughts about yourself? That's not self-love, right? So we want to look at that as well. If there's any feelings of unworthiness to success, to love, to whatever it is that you are working towards manifesting in your life, it is feeling desirable. It is feeling that and having an inner knowing that what you desires you. Sometimes we just might make the wrong choice, or see that, okay, I believe it. Like, I feel like the easy example for me to use is when it's a relationship and we think, oh, this person is perfect. This is the one. This is it. And, they're not. And we have all of our hopes put into that person or that job, working out, whatever it might be, and then feeling discouraged when it turns out not to be quite in alignment with us. It starts, like I said, it starts to affect us. You know, it starts to make us feel like we're constantly being rejected, we're being turned down, we're being left behind, we're not getting what we want, wishes are not being fulfilled, we're wasting our time, we're wasting our energy. And so this is about self-mastery for you. This is about you really understanding that, yes, sometimes there are certain situations that are outside of our control. We don't always, right, get exactly what we want, because sometimes it's not meant for us. Sometimes it's just not meant for us. And in that moment, we might think, okay, yes, this is exactly what I want. And the universe sees differently. The universe knows, truly what is meant for you. And sometimes we take less than we deserve. Sometimes we end up taking a job that we don't really like, or being on a career path that's not really for us. So I feel like your life's mission right now is working on you. It's building yourself up. It's understanding that the grief over some type of loss that we could be experiencing, or dissatisfaction in our life, it's temporary. The emotion is temporary. The Queen of Wands is a very powerful energy. I love the Queen of Wands. It's a very powerful energy. I like to think of the Queen of Wands as like us being on a mission to accomplish something. And the Queen of Wands, if you're having like a conversation with her and she tells you about what her goal is, what her dream is, what her vision is for her life, and you're a person who has maybe self-limiting beliefs, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, where the Queen of Wands is very confident. She knows what she wants and she's going to get it. If you tell her, because of your own limiting beliefs, you can't do that, you're not going to make that happen, that's not possible, the Queen of Wands, she's going to say, watch me. Watch me do this. Watch me accomplish this. I will succeed. I will get this done. Because she believes in herself, right? And sometimes there are certain things in our life that affect us. Something that someone says, something that someone does that affects the way that we feel about ourselves, takes our confidence away. Sometimes it's our childhood, our upbringing, our parents, that create certain experiences that take away or chip away at our self-esteem and our self-worth and our confidence, where we begin to feel that we're just not meant to have this or to have that or to be successful in our life. And it starts to create a lot of doubt, a lot of insecurities, a lot of fears, a lot of confusion, a lot of uncertainty of not trusting. Okay? So your life's mission right now is working on you, is building yourself up, is nurturing yourself. Sometimes that might require reparenting yourself, taking a look at how certain experiences in your life have impacted your beliefs. Okay? How they've created certain fears, how they've created certain insecurities. Seven of Wands here is also about resilience. That even though there may be something that we could be temporarily going through, that we can pick ourselves back up and get back on the trail. And keep going. And I feel like this is where the Spirit is kind of inspiring you to do just that, to take some time to heal, to transmute this energy, and to get your head back in the game. Back in the game. You come first. Okay? Stabilizing your energy, healing, so that you gain clarity. And then we can start to get to work on wish fulfillment, goals, believing in yourself, and being able to kind of make things happen. All right, so let's look at your last card here. We have Lavish Abundance. Meet Nixie, friend of the Fae. You will find him feasting in the forest, raising a chalice of bubbly ambrosia to the bounty of nature and the rich harvest. When foraging for mushrooms, he effortlessly finds more than any other kitty and has plenty to share. He trusts that the forest will always provide. Fairy gold appears easily in his paws because his desires pulse with the thrill of being alive on earth. He revels in the playground of time, space, and nature. Let go of all worries and feelings of lack. Fully receive the abundance that is here for you right now. It is yours to enjoy, which makes sense. Our Empress is in reverse. Okay? That feeling of unworthiness. And the Empress is about abundance. It's about love. It's about prosperity. It's about beauty and confidence in yourself, the ability to create and manifest. And like I said earlier, when we're in that Empress in reverse energy, it is a block within the feminine energy, within our creativity. It could be blocks with money, blocks with love. And so working on healing the feminine energy is the mission right now. Any mother wounds that you might have. That's the focus. Sometimes there are certain, situations that can wound that feminine energy, that make us feel low and not good enough. So the focus is you healing the feminine, okay? Through self-love, through nurturing, feeling beautiful, handsome, attractive, desirable, worthy. All right, so I'm going to leave this here for you, group number 2. I do hope this was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, group 3. So those of you that resonated with card number 23, the spirits, and it says respecting spirit, okay, with the Fuschia Dalmatian Jasper. So our question today is, what is your life's mission at this moment? And so this card does talk a lot about your spiritual practice. Okay, here in this card, we can see that there's a bunch of spirits. Okay, we can look at them as your spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, passed on loved ones, your entire spirit team that is there for your support. This card also talks about a lot of the things that we don't see, that spirit protects us from, spirit warns us about, the information, the downloads that we receive, the insight that they give to us, the encouragement, the signs that they give to us. They're all kind of there working behind the scenes to make things happen, to help us along our path. And so it's important that we not only go to spirit when we need something, right? But that we are also making it a regular part of your daily life, where you are, before you make choices, decisions in your life, that you check in with your higher self, that you check in with your spirit team. This could be making your spiritual practice your priority right now. Okay, so let's pull, we're actually going to pull one more of these oracle cards. We're going to save this for the end. So let's just pull it now. Group number 3. What is your life's mission at this moment? Group 3. For those of you that don't have a spiritual practice, this would be your invitation to start creating one, to start making, maybe doing some research, maybe even connecting to your roots and looking at what types of maybe spiritual practices your ancestors may have had, to see how we can maybe incorporate some of those things to start coming up with a spiritual practice. And remember that it is something that is unique to you. It doesn't need to look like everyone else's. It is something that is for you. Okay, so that's going to be your card. We'll look at that later. But we are going to be pulling the tarot. Yeah, so remember, right? They also have feelings, right? Our spirits, our passed on loved ones, our ancestors, they too have feelings. And it's important to build a relationship, just like relationships with people that we have within the 3D world, where we nurture those relationships. Like I said earlier, we don't want to just kind of only go to spirit when we need something or when we're asking for something. It would be like if you go to, like if you have a specific friend and you only go to that friend when you need money. Only when you need them to do something for you, right? You want to make sure that you've nurtured that relationship with them all the time. That could be talking to them out loud. That could be during meditation practice, where you connect with them in that way, where you show gratitude, appreciation for all the work that they do. Like I said, a lot of that we don't see. Sometimes the universe or spirit is helping us in ways to protect us from certain things, to, you know, help us to kind of move away from certain things, to give us warnings. And so this is where it's important, because the information that we receive from spirit is given through dreams, through signs, through synchronicity, through you connecting with your higher self. So if we want, right, to receive that information, to be able to build that connection, we want to make sure that we have a spiritual practice, that we're not neglecting that part of ourselves, and that we're not neglecting that relationship that we have with spirit. So let's see. Group number 3. What is your life's mission at this moment? What is your life's mission at this moment? The Empress. The Seven of Cups. We have the World. The Eight of Swords. The Seven of Wands. We have the Sun, the Three of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Four of Swords. Okay, so we do have Taurus, Libra, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Aries, I do feel like I want to get a little bit more information on Eight of Pentacles followed by Judgment at the bottom. And this card does correlate with the Judgment card. Its tarot companion is Judgment. So what is this about the spirits? Respecting spirit for group 3. Page of Wands. Okay, so this is, it could be messages, communications. The Four of Wands has to do with stability. It has to do with harmony, balance. And the Emperor. This has to do with decisions, your choices. So in a way, I feel like your spirit team here is, in a way, kind of talking about how there are certain messages, communication that they give to you. And I feel like you're probably not paying attention, group 3. You could be ignoring it. Because Judgment is about awakening. It's about an announcement, a wake-up call. And I feel like with the Eight of Swords energy here, the Eight of Swords can talk about a lot of self-limiting beliefs. So it's kind of like, in a way, what they're saying here is that we're giving you the tools, we're giving you the messages, we're giving you the clues, we're leaving you the breadcrumbs, and you're not paying attention. It feels like there's something big that you're meant to do here, and I feel like that's kind of why this is coming through this way. This is about leadership. There's something that you're meant to do, and some of you, I feel like it is for the collective. This could be life purpose, okay? Your life purpose. And it requires you to be disciplined, to be focused, organized, committed, dedicated to pushing past. I feel like it's the negative thinking here, because they're trying to help you, I feel like, to get into alignment. The Emperor is a leader. The King of Wands is here, which is a leader. The Empress is such a beautiful energy of creation. The Emperor is also a very wise energy. So it almost kind of feels like you have a particular, some of you have a particular loved one in spirit. And I don't want to necessarily say that this is, for some of you, this might be a father or a father figure, or a soul who has a very masculine, presents as a very masculine energy. And the Emperor is about discipline. It's about getting things done, making things happen. It's about building structure, stability. So it almost kind of feels like this energy is, I want to say, it's more of an energy of authority. So it kind of feels like this person's energy comes through as like an authority figure, like a fatherly, paternal energy. Could even be a grandparent, grandfather. Could even be if any of you have passed on fathers, husbands, boyfriends, or like I said, a soul who had a very, this feels like a person who really had their life together, who was very successful in their 3D life. This could be a family member for some of you. And it kind of feels like this almost like trying to support you and push you into your greatness. And it's almost like, I don't know if I want to say strict, maybe a little bit hard on you, but not in a way that is like, because they're trying to be mean to you. It's more like they want to see you be the best that they know that you are truly capable of. And so it kind of comes through where they're giving you the guidance, they're giving you the message, and they're like, listen, listen, group 3. We're giving you all the tools, we're giving you all the signs. Follow, trust what you're receiving. So this is where it's super important, again, to connect with spirit, connect with your ancestors, because sometimes we feel like I'm alone, I don't have anybody, but that's not true. That's not true. You have an entire spirit team that is supporting you, that is providing encouragement, insight. We just have to quiet the mind and listen. The 4 of Swords is here, which is about resting, reflecting, meditating, calming the mind. This is not calm, right? 8 of Swords is a lot of intrusive, negative thinking, self-limiting beliefs. I can't do it. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't make this happen. And let's actually look at that. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles is at the bottom. 5 of Pentacles has to do with lack, scarcity mindset, poverty consciousness, a feeling of unworthiness, a feeling of being alone, isolated, shut out, helpless, unable to change our situation. Feeling like we can't make things better, we can't improve. And it feels like the support that you have from your spirit team is like saying, yes, you can. Because the 5 of Pentacles is a self-limiting belief that there's not enough, that we're going to continue to be poor, or that we're going to be have a limited resources, a lack of resources. Whatever that feeling of lack belongs to. For some of you, it could be money. For some of you, it could be love. For some of you, it could be the house that you want, the where you want to live. We feel helpless. The 5 of Pentacles is about despair, suffering. So when we're in this state, we feel like that's it. We're stuck like this. There's no way out. Can't change it. And I also noticed that you have both the Empress and the Emperor here. It feels like a lot of you that chose this group, you're very creative. You're very intuitive. But the Emperor, because this is feminine and masculine, the Emperor brings form and structure, stability, a foundation to what the Empress energy, the feminine energy, is creating. Without this, it's like doing half the work. This is where your spirit team is trying to help you with, maybe this is improving your masculine energy, right? Masculine energy is provider, is protector, is stability, is structure, building, getting things done, making it happen, which requires getting things in order. It requires discipline, commitment, consistency, organization, focus, which requires us to step up and take the lead, take inspired action, start building, start taking those creative ideas and these dreams and these visions and things that we want and answering the call. Judgment is also about answering the call of our soul. Why is the Eight of Swords here? The Death card. The Page of Cups. And the Queen of Swords. So I feel like with the Page of Swords, or I'm sorry, the Queen of Swords energy here, this is about you recognizing where these mental limitations are. The Queen of Swords is also about discernment, clarity, being able to receive these messages from the divine. This is a lot of transformation of the mind, of the thoughts. We have the Page of Cups energy here. The Page of Cups is your inner child. It is also an extremely creative energy. The Page of Cups is about imagination, daydreaming, lots of creative energy. Okay. So when this is about us connecting into the infinite creative potential that we have within ourselves, ideas, right? Inspiration, and to be able to take decisive action towards whatever that might be. Some of you might also have spiritual gifts that your spirit team is wanting you, the purpose of you really, the importance, I should say, of you building this relationship with the divine, with your higher self, is because many of you have, through answering this call of your soul, some of you, it is you're using your spiritual gifts in this lifetime. So this is about you studying, learning, nurturing those gifts. Some of you have innate gifts that you were born with that you're meant to use. But if we end up feeling like, I don't know enough, I'm not good enough, this is where we can expand the knowledge, wisdom, by nurturing those gifts. So there's the Devil at the bottom with the Magician. This almost feels like this is limiting you. The Devil has a lot to do with our ego, the unhealthy aspect of the ego. And the Eight of Swords is a lot of the conscious mind thinking, overthinking something, right? That's us being trapped basically in our thoughts. This drowns out the intuition. It drowns out the voice of our ancestors. Because we don't trust what we're receiving, right? That's where you strengthening that connection to your higher self is so important, because your higher self is your compass. It's your inner compass in this lifetime. It's your inner navigation, built-in navigation system. Your soul knows where it's meant to go, what it's meant to do. It is those unhealthy aspects of the ego, the self-limiting beliefs, the self-sabotaging thoughts that derail us, that distract us off our path, that block us from being able to do something, from trusting ourselves even. So if we're super tuned in, right, and we build that relationship, the things that we do, the choices that we make in life are going to lead to balance. They're going to lead to harmony. They're going to lead to us aligning with the life and the destiny that we're meant to have. through answering the call of the soul. I do want to look at the Judgment card. Now, the Magician is here as well. The Magician is about focused intention, manifestation, working with spirit, co-creating with spirit. Fear is also a huge block to us being able to receive information. Okay? And I'm not talking about like the normal fear that we have where like if we get scared and, you know, our nervous system is like, oh, we're scared right now, right? Like in fight or flight. That's normal. I'm talking more so about the prolonged state of fear that we live in or function from. Okay? That affects our focus. Why is the Judgment card here? King of Cups. 5 of Cups. And the 9 of Pentacles. So for some of you, this 5 of Cups could represent feelings of discouragement, disappointment, grief, sadness, depression, emotions that we need to honor, of course, and work through. But Judgment is also about release. It's about letting go. It's about making peace with our past. It's about stabilizing your emotions. This is also important because when we are in an overly emotional state, our emotions can also sometimes block out our intuition. So if emotions are unbalanced, right, and we're fear and emotional manipulation and all kinds of other things that are kind of going on, we're not going to be a very good receiver of psychic insight and information. So, like I said, I don't feel like Spirit's saying you got to hurry up and heal. You have to hurry up and, you know, overcome your grief or your sadness or your pain. Let yourself work through those emotions. Okay? Let yourself purge. But the important thing is bringing yourself back to a state of emotional balance where we learn to master that. Because there will be many things, right, throughout our life that will give us this full range of emotions and will make us feel very upset one day, excited the next day. And the better that we are able to navigate even through the most difficult of emotions and bring ourselves back into a state of emotional balance, we become a master. Right? The 8 of Pentacles is here. It is a card about self-mastery. So through strengthening that connection to Source, many of you have beautiful spiritual gifts. You know, to be able to really tune in to Spirit's guidance, your higher self's guidance. So to me, I'm seeing this as you kind of clearing and opening that channel. Moving out of a place of despair and disappointment and discouragement and isolation and, you know, feeling that there's nothing that we do to change our situation or to get ourselves out of a situation. Because the truth is, you do have the answers. The answers are within you. The more that we work on focusing on making a spiritual practice for yourself, self-doubt is going to go away. Fear is going to go away. You're going to learn to trust yourself. You're going to learn to trust even the warnings that Spirit gives to you, right? Sometimes even when we meet someone new, within the first, 3 seconds, the first 3 seconds of meeting someone, what does your gut tell you? Right? What are we feeling about a person, about a situation? Oftentimes we ignore that. This is where if we're tuned in, right, and strengthening that connection, we have all the resources, we have all the information that we need to give us that proper guidance. We don't need to look outside of ourselves for that guidance. The answers are within you. Each of us has access to that. The infinite knowledge and wisdom, not only that you have, but your entire spirit team. Right? They've lived, many of them have lived life on earth and have lived their own lives and have made mistakes and have, done some really beautiful and amazing things. And they have a lot of wisdom to share with us. Okay, so let's look at your last card here. We have Solace. It says, meet Isis. One dark day, this kitten moped through the forest, eyes downturned, gloom weighed heavy on her shoulders. Just when she was feeling like everything good had been taken away, a little rose quartz light floated by, dissipating her inner cloudiness just a touch. Soon, more and more soft pink lights gathered around her. The whole forest was glowing. Lavender flowers and trees gently swaying all around her. The very air seemed imbued with peace. The tangled tension within her dissolved into ease. Basking in nature's sanctuary, she returned to her true self. Okay? And I see that as that King of Cups. Because it is through that mastery. And this is where it's so important for us to have that connection with spirit. Because like I said earlier, yes, we're living life here. There's ups and downs. There's challenges. There's heartbreak. There's, many things that we will go through that will be very challenging. And a lot of these things can completely throw us off, throw us out of balance, throw us out of alignment. And this is where us learning how to navigate through those emotions is so important. Judgment is also about looking to our past, integrating what we've learned. So it means taking a pause, looking back and saying, okay, where am I right now? How did I get here? What choices did I make? What have I learned from this experience that I've just had, or the experiences from the past? How can we integrate what we've learned to help us to achieve better in the future, right? So connecting with your true self, right? And your true self, your authentic self, your higher self, is not suffering. It is not pain and, all of these heavy, dense emotions that we deal with in the 3D. Those are the things that we're experiencing. Those are the things that your 3D self, right, is experiencing in its current reality. Your higher self is your true self. It is the version of you that knows that many of these things that we're going through and experiencing in our 3D reality, that they don't have a power over us. They don't have to have a power over us. Okay? So this is bringing you back into that state of your connection to the divine, to infinite love and support and confidence, worthiness, abundance, love. Right? When we can align with our highest version of self and live our best life, such a beautiful thing. Okay? All right, so that is all that I have for you, group number 3. I do hope this reading was helpful for you all, and I will see you in the next one.